Podcasting is this amazing creative space. It's rewarding, it's connecting people, but there's a paradox hiding right at the heart of it. A really critical conversation about the mental health of the creators themselves that honestly, we just don't talk about enough. So today, let's pull back that curtain and really dig into the unique pressures these creators are facing. My brain essentially shut down. That's a direct quote from a podcaster describing a moment of absolute crisis. It's such a stark reminder that behind every microphone, there's a real person, often dealing with some pretty immense pressure. And that single, powerful experience is where this story really begins. So to really get what's going on here, we have to look past the numbers and start with a real human story. It's a journey that really shines a light on a problem that so many in the industry are facing, often in total silence. And wow, did it all escalate fast. We're talking about one morning, early 2019, this podcaster is just on his way to work, he has a breakdown at a train station, and just like that, everything stops. That very same day, he's in a hospital. The diagnosis was depression and anxiety, all brought on by stress and just complete overwork. And while he's managing it now, his story is a huge warning sign for how these pressures can build up completely unseen. And that's exactly why this story matters so much. This isn't just one person's struggle. It's a window into a much, much bigger issue that's been kept in the shadows of the podcasting world for too long. Okay, so that story really opens up a bigger question, right? Why podcasting? What is it about this medium that creates this perfect storm for mental health struggles? A huge piece of the puzzle is just how solitary the whole thing can be. I mean, just think about it for a second. For so many podcasters, it's a total one-person operation. You're not just the voice. You're the planner, the researcher, the sound engineer, the editor, the publisher, and your own PR team. That is a massive weight of responsibility to carry all by yourself. So let's drill down into just one part of this whole process, something you'd never think would be so damaging: the editing. How on earth does a technical task like that become a mental health trap? Well, this is where things get really tricky. The editing booth, it becomes this echo chamber for all your self-doubt. That little voice in your head asking, "Are you good enough?" Suddenly it's asking, "Is this audio good enough?" All of a sudden, editing isn't just about cutting clips. It's a space where your deepest insecurities get a microphone. And that kicks off this really dangerous downward spiral. First, you're scrutinizing every little sound, hearing flaws that no one else would ever notice. That creates this intense pressure to be perfect, which of course leads to total indecision. Next thing you know, you're trapped in this cycle of anxiety and self-doubt that just eats up your time and makes you feel even more isolated. Okay, but the pressure cooker doesn't just turn off when you finally hit publish. Oh no. In fact, that's when a whole new kind of anxiety kicks in, and this one is all about performance and the tyranny of the numbers. I mean, how many times have you seen this question online? Are my numbers good enough? It's that moment when your creative self-worth gets chained to a spreadsheet. The focus just shifts from, did I make something I'm proud of, to, did the analytics say it was good? And that constant comparison game, it is the perfect fuel for imposter syndrome. You start looking at someone else's highlight reel, their download numbers, and you compare it to your own. And that fear of being found out as a fraud just gets louder and louder, making you doubt everything you've accomplished. And look, it goes way beyond just download numbers. The pressure piles on from every direction. The struggle to get sponsors, the dead ends trying to book guests, the silence where you wish there were reviews. Every single one can feel like a personal failure, just adding to the stress of an already exhausting and lonely job. So with all of this piling up, you'd think this would be a massive topic of conversation in the industry, right? But it's not. There's this strange, unsettling silence. So who's actually talking about the creators? And when you look at the industry's focus, the contrast is, it's pretty jarring. There are tons of articles and studies about how listening to podcasts is great for your mental health. But what about the people making them? Crickets. It's almost completely ignored. And this isn't just an abstract problem. This silence has real dangerous consequences. The American Psychiatric Association says over half of people with mental illness don't get help. That's what silence does. It builds walls, and it stops people from taking that first vital step in podcasting and everywhere else. So where do we go from here? What's the answer? Well, it's not about telling everyone to just quit. The way forward, it's about starting to talk. It's about changing the entire conversation through open dialogue. Because let's not forget, podcasting is an incredible medium. At its core, it's all about connection and creativity, and it has a really positive impact. The whole point is to protect the brilliant people who make it all happen. And that brings us to the really painful irony in all of this, doesn't it? The very people whose craft is built on the spoken word, the expert communicators, they're the ones who often feel like they don't have the words to ask for help. Just by talking about this, we can start to break down that fear. We can make it easier to say that one crucial word. And for a podcaster, that might be the most powerful thing they ever say into a microphone. So I want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. To all the creators out there listening to this, what if the most important, most vital, most compelling topic for your next episode is you?